Fantastic. So, welcome everyone to the Build to Bronze. Time is flying by. I hope you're all enjoying the journey and the mission. And of course, we have our ups and downs, and we do the best we can. But it's staying on track and being consistent that really matters. And as some of you may have guessed from some of the posts that Nikki did, we've ourselves we found some challenging circumstances this past week. Three serious car accidents I was able to avoid, none of which I caused, and all I was paying attention, and therefore I was able to avoid a minor flood. And now both the girls are crook. So I've been playing dad and cooking and taking care of them. So it's interesting how life throws you curveballs. But my favorite quote is Rose Kennedy, who says, "It's not the challenges we're faced with life; it's how we deal with it that really matters." And she was a wonderful woman. She was a woman that literally was the mother of world leaders and American presidents. So and had obviously some major challenges with her boys being killed. So yeah, a phenomenal job. So look, today we want to talk about continuing inviting and continuing working through the Build the Bronze module. I hope you've all downloaded the module and that you are using the training materials. You all know about that, the Build the Bronze. Now that is in the Shine Bright team Facebook group. I believe it's also on the Genie app where you can download. And you want to just continue to work through it as time goes by and learning the bits and pieces in it. And today we're on page 6 and it's about continuing inviting. So we're going to go through that. But before we do that, should we just do a little quick check-in, just with not everyone, but just a couple of people, if anyone's got any really amazing wins for the week or amazing challenges, like I just had a little amazing challenge that I've explained. And I'd just like to remind you about the success check-in. The success check-in is a great little form that I created many years ago now about stimulating your thought process on how you do a check-in or how you do an accountability call with a buddy or an accountability group, and then also tracking and measuring what you've actually been doing during the week. And so for any volunteer that wants to do a quick little check-in, first question is celebrate your success for the previous week. What's been working for you? What was your win? Do we have a volunteer that would like to do a check-in? Jules.
Hello.
Hello,
We've
welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had our thing of challenges this week as well, but it was really getting serious about how many hours we wanted to spend on the business combined with what our goals we've been setting for it and where we see it taking us in the future.
Great.
And really getting serious on we got a joint Google calendar where we put in everything, every appointment and all the rest of it. And it was we had stuff like all over the place. So every day there was something here where we decided, you know what, we can actually have a bit more control about the doctor's appointments and different things that we do, and choose to say, well, we're available on this day and put a whole lot of stuff in one day. So this is the first week where we've had multiple appointments Monday, where we get them all out of the way, and then create more space to be at home, to be centered, and get that done. So that's been really helpful at realizing just how much time we were wasting, where we really wanted to spend it on something good and building something. And on top of that, we're also then looking at what other things could we do helps wise in our house, like could we get somebody else to do certain things, or what things are we doing that are taking too much time. So we actually realized that our Saturday morning, or during the week, we'd lose too much time in washing, because we've got a tiny little washing machine that we had when we first got married.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've gone out and gone, okay, what do we actually need that we can just pop it all in and do one big load and take care of all that. So we've gone out and invested in a washer dryer combo. That means with my massage business, I can grab the whole day's worth of towels and do it in one load and not four. So that's just helped us make space in our laundry, get things organized in there, and we really picked up about 5 to 10 hours easily this week in adjusting that. So that was our big win, focusing on those things in the Build a Bronze Challenge.
All right, that is amazing. That's a great share, Jules. Thank you so much. Just
Pleasure.
going through the process of the check-in. So, any particular challenges that got in the way of you achieving your goals this week?
Just time.
Time management. Yep.
Finding how
Great.
time can get away with us with different things.
Yep.
Learning to make phone calls and have our specific our not an agenda, but have our outcome in mind, so that we don't
Yeah,
get caught away in the chat and then go, oh man, we only had like allocated half an hour for that, and hour and a
yeah,
half later we're trying to get off the phone.
yeah.
So like being
Brilliant.
really clear about our questions, what we're looking for, and then making another time. um,
Great. That's a great thing to bring up. And I might come back to that if I can, because pre-framing, the concept of pre-framing. So I know there's some amazing talent on the call. Any of you incredible leaders out there that would like to just do 2 minutes on what a pre-frame is and how to do that in the beginning of a phone call, I'll ask you to step up in a second and contribute to the training. But that's brilliant. So time and step three, what did you learn from the week? I think you've already answered that. You've gone through your daily calendar and organized a calendar. That's absolutely brilliant. And I do recommend that, whether it's a hard written calendar or not. There's a quick. I'm just quickly screen sharing. Can anyone see that? That's
yeah,
our calendars, right?
yeah,
Fairly insane, right? There's a lot going on in there, and there's all different colors and all that sort of stuff. And that's not even all of them, because I can't see all of Nicole's calendars. But we can set it so some calendars we share, some we don't share, and some will automatically block us as busy with Calendly. Others will allow us to be free with our time booking links and so forth. So getting proficient on a system to manage your time is a radical improvement to your productivity. So that's brilliant, Steve, Jules. Congratulations there. Step four, how are you going to celebrate your wins from this week?
we had a big family roast dinner last night because
Fantastic.
I had time to plan it, cook for it, and make it, and actually get the kids over. So that was a really big win.
And that's the whole point of us doing this business, right? Yes, we want to help people, but it's really about a good life. It's about developing a quality life. Family dinners are super powerful. Okay, and what is your goal for the next week?
Refining it even more.
Awesome. Yep. Implementation, refinement. What actions are you taking from now until your next success check-in?
Well, we've been making sure we get in on our call with our mentor, lovely Julie Mack, and she's good at reminding us the things we promised last week when I forgot where I put my stuff. And
Isn't
we're just
that cool, right? So
hoping.
that's great. This is one of the skills of becoming a bronze, is the ability to not only make a goal, but to keep track of it, be organized about it, and then to be able to hold ourselves accountable, and those that give us permission to coach them, to hold them accountable as well.
So yeah, no, that was really good because I knew I'd done the things, but then we had our other challenge was we had our house inspection as well as the first one in our new rental property. So it was like,
Yep,
you get that tension of like, oh my God, is
totally.
everything in place? So that sort of threw everything into the works as well. But
Yep.
we still managed. I think I was only one little thing that I dropped. I'd still done it, but I hadn't gone back and ticked it off my list that I had because I couldn't find the list. We tied it up so well. So
Yeah.
it was good to
Okay,
have.
great. So that's awesome. So congratulations and fantastic for stepping up and doing a full check-in and participating and taking the bull by the horns. You're literally, all of us are taking our destiny,
Yeah.
by the driver's wheel when we're doing this. So that's beautiful. Look at, you've even got the check-in
Yeah,
sheet in front of you.
absolutely. Because I've
I,
actually found this to be really, really helpful in reminding myself what it is I was trying to do.
that's beautiful. Is anyone else have the check-in sheet in front of them? Top score, Julie. Ting. Well done. Round of applause. All right, that is seriously a true demonstration of participation and engagement, taking responsibility for your business. It's amazing, guys. Love it. Love to see it. Okay, great. So let's move on. We don't want to make the call too long. So that was a longer check-in, but a great demonstration of it. Pre-frame. Anyone want to volunteer? If no one else will, I will. Okay, so pre-frame is basically when you say something to someone, if you can plant a seed of the idea of the context or the frame of the conversation. So, for example, I may not have caught up with someone for 6 months or a year or 5 years, right? And I start to chat to them on LinkedIn or Facebook or WhatsApp, and Telegram, whatever it is. I might run into them into a shop and say hi, and then I'll like try and schedule a call with them, or I might reach out to them 5 days later after just randomly bumping into them and go, "Hey, I just wanted to catch up with you. There was something I really wanted to talk to you about that that could help you, or something I'm really excited about, or something I thought could really help you. But before that, what's going on for you? So I've planned right in that first sentence of saying, hey Bob, so good to have caught you. There's something I'm really excited to talk to you about, or I thought of you the other day. I thought of something that could help you and wanted to talk to you about it. But what's happening with you since we caught up? Right. So you're giving them the opportunity to go, oh, I can't really talk right now, or I've just had a tragedy, I've just had a win, or whatever it is, and you still got the time to connect and have rapport. But they know that there's a purpose for your phone call. They know that you've already planted that seed and you've pre-framed them that there's something that you want to talk to them about. And that was actually a pretty important skill for me to learn in the early days when I was doing a lot of calls and could easily get segued into a chat about something that I didn't really want to talk about or wasn't the purpose of my phone call. So the better you get at pre-framing, the more effective and efficient you will be in life in general. And people, if you don't do the pre-frame at the beginning, you can do a tangent, and then right at the end, you've had that stress or tension that you really want to talk to them about it. When you do finally say, oh, and there's something I want to talk to you about, it's almost like they can feel, because you're stressed about it, right? They'll feel that energy and they'll start to go, oh, what are you wanting to say that you're not saying? Right. So I think it actually helps with honesty and just being upfront and authentic relationship, to spit it out at the beginning, but then don't dominate it with a monologue. Go back to what's going on for them. Does that make sense? The amazing Janine's on the call and looks like she wants to say something.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great, I didn't realize that's what you meant by pre-framing, but it's so powerful, because otherwise you're coming in the back door and they'll smell it a mile away. So you haven't been upfront with them. And I might be speaking to someone I haven't spoken to for 10 years, but it's like, hey, I thought of you the other day because of these reasons. So first of all, it's almost paying them a compliment. But before I get into that, like, what's been happening for you? The last time I spoke to you, this was going on, and they'll talk. And then, when they've got to the end of sharing what's happening for them, they'll say, so what's this thing you want to talk to me about? And it just goes so beautifully. And then you share with them why you thought of them or what's in it for them. And it's always a great conversation. But I know people who've kind of rang up high, been thinking, oh gosh, I haven't spoken for ages. And then they try and slip it in at the end and it goes very badly, very badly. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Janine. Fantastic. Does that make sense to everyone? Does that help, Jules and Steve? And remember, like, it's really great to contribute on these calls. These coaching calls is a safe place where we get to share what's really going on as far as like what's in the way of us being successful or what we need support and help with. Because as Jules and Steve are learning about this, I'm sure who else on the call was learned about it for the first time or reminded of the importance of structuring a phone call in that way. Maybe you've never even thought of that before. But that's the goal that comes out of these accountability and coaching calls and training calls. So great question. Charlotte has asked whether the success check-in is in the Build to Bronze. It's actually in the Launch and Build guide. It's in the Launch and Build guide. And Nicole's actually streamlined it, as she's so good at doing, right? Just cutting it down to the bare bones. That's the old version. And the new version is actually only 3 questions. Still has the tracking table, but the 3 questions are: celebrate your success from the previous week, focus on your wins to build your self-belief. Key question: what's the most important thing you can do to build your self-esteem? Write a list, tick it off when you get it done. All right, that will build your self-esteem, build your self-confidence, make you powerful. So that what has been working for you, what goals or steps towards your goals did you achieve? That's step 1. Step 2, what challenges got in your way in the last week? What support do you need? Do you need specific tech or technical help, right? Maybe you need 5 minutes with someone on how to learn how to use Zoom in a particular way, right? Maybe you need an hour with a LinkedIn specialist to do a specific thing in LinkedIn that you want to do. But sometimes you just need a quick check-in with a coaching buddy to just sort of bounce off and get a different perspective on as well. get the help, ask for help. It's amazingly powerful to do that. What is your goal for the next week? I can have excuses or results, but I can't have both. And so I prefer the results part. Okay, and yeah, suppose that what I just said goes with this shirt, right? We rise by lifting others. So you're all extraordinary people, and we are a part of an extraordinary team and movement of ASEA. I do encourage you that question too is, what help do you need? Ask for the support when you need it. And sometimes it's not like a little quiet tap on the door. Sometimes you need to bang on the door a few times and even open the door and yell down the hallway, help me, you know, and hat off to Margot. Hey, Margot, we're wishing you very well. Margot's probably calling us, joining the call from in hospital right now. And she's been, you know, like trying to get in touch with me, and it just hasn't happened yet. You know, it's just like the timing's just been off each time. So that doesn't mean that I don't care about Margot. I'm not trying to support Margot. It just means it just hasn't been the right time. Just if you do need to ask for support, be powerful in your request for support, and don't go assuming that, you know, people don't care about you because they don't answer you, or you left a Facebook message for someone and they never responded to you. How many messages have you missed in your life? I don't know about you, but I miss them sometimes. Sometimes I've got 20 messages and I start scrolling, and then messages says that I've like looked at all my messages when I go back. And then a month later, I scroll down and I find, oh my goodness, I've missed 10 messages. I had no idea. So don't go assuming, because when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. I love that saying. Assume, ass of you and me, right?
Love to. I want to make a comment there, Justin. If you're not dropping any balls, you're not playing a big enough game. All right, you're playing way too safe. So when you up your game, in other words, you're taking on more, you're being more, all of that, you're going to drop some balls. You know what? You just be okay with that. You go and clean it up when you realize you've dropped a ball. In other words, apologize to the person and recommit and get back on your game. So if you're not dropping balls, the game's too small. It's time to increase the game.
Yeah. How good is that, everyone? How good is that? Janine said that to me many years ago, and I'd heard it. I'd actually heard it through Landmark, but when she said it, I so got it. And it gives you permission to fall forward. You know, it's perfect. Okay, it's perfectly unperfect, right? So what I'd like to talk today about is page 6 in the Build a Bronze guide, which is about inviting. Step 2. So the actual income producing activities in your business are inviting people to take a look at some information, making sure they do have a look at that information, and ideally using a tool to do the talking. Don't be a tool, use a tool, right, to do the talking, because tools are duplicatable and you are not. And 3, following up and collecting a decision. So the actual, hey, do you need any more information, or could you see yourself using that? Yes, no. Do an enrollment, get them their product, help them use the product. But it's inviting, present, follow up are the 3 key things that are income producing to your business. Not all problems, but most problems in network marketing can be resolved or even improved by more recruiting. Okay, so it's pretty key. So continuing inviting, and this is a part of the challenge of how do you manage to continue to invite as you go through your list, as you start to manage other people. You know, building the bronze, you're getting direct to 300, 700 starting to pop up. You're still wanting to support them. You're still wanting to support your existing customers and associates, and you've still got to find new people to talk to. So how do you do that? And look, having the idea of having a funnel. And if you've never heard about a funnel, a sales funnel, it looks like the shape of a funnel because it's new leads going in the top, new people coming in the top, and hopefully all of you are still using your list, just people you've known throughout your life that you can still contact to. But at some point, you may get to a point where you need to actually find a system to put them in the funnel. Right, and that's where we can use social media, websites, and even like leaflet drops, letterbox drops, all sorts of different ways to do that. And as they go through the funnel, you're qualifying them. It's a sales process where you're understanding whether they're a good fit for your product and your service, sorting and sifting. But continuing to invite them as they go through the funnel is a key attribute of a sustainable business. All businesses need to do it. So continuing to improve your ability to assess whether our products meet the needs of the people that are in the funnel is a part of the qualifying process, and how do you actually talk to them about that? So finding one-liners, finding phrases, finding questions that you can talk to your prospects about, so you can gain an idea of their values, and therefore they qualify themselves more. So remember the training that Alan Noble did at Envision, okay? Beautiful statements, right? Powerful statements, you know, cutting edge technology. You know, people are saying this is the breakthrough of our lifetime, as important, as big a scientific breakthrough as the discovery of penicillin, right? They catch people's attention. And so knowing these statements and using them throughout your conversation is key to the inviting process. And asking questions as well to know that you're on the right page. You might be talking about cosmetic improvements because that's important to you, to someone who doesn't care about their cosmetic values at all. Therefore, it's not an appropriate conversation. So often when I am saying some of these power statements about like curiosity generators, I will ask at the end of the comment, even though it's more of a statement, I'll turn it into a question by just saying, that's cool, yeah? Like, isn't that amazing? Or, you know, does that interest you? You know, like, so you can make a statement into a question almost through tone and just a couple of words at the end. And then you, depending on their response, you can really get a good gauge on if you're heading in the right track. Does that make any sense? Yep. Okay. And then so also with the opportunity and the business side of it. So as you're talking to them, watching for their response. When I first started this, I was leading with the product. I've seen other people very much lead with the business. Today, my experience tells me I just present both and see where the interest lies. And I ask them, you know, like, so what's going on for you? You know, is there, you know, are you happy with your career? Is business going well? Are you interested in another revenue stream? Are you looking for a profit center in your existing business? You know, I talk to healthcare professionals a lot of the time, you know, so I check in about that. And I do it in a way that I'm genuinely caring for them, because you know, my experience has been in business and I've been through bankruptcy. I know like the pain of being in business. When I ask a business owner, you know, how's their business going? That matters to me nearly as much as the health. You know, you need both. And so really encourage you to be good at asking leading questions for both and qualifying people for both the product and the business. Is that making sense? Has anyone got any comments or questions around that, or like would like to contribute an example of where you thought it was going to be this and it was completely not? It was the other, you know?
Can I just say something, Justin, with
Yeah,
that
Debbie.
business side of it? Being a business owner, and we invested millions of dollars in our business.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and because our business was very much orientated around people, and the people that came in were all levels of business themselves or employment, and it was really interesting. I always made it a point of asking how someone's business was going, because we were going through the downturn and we'd had a really big boom here in Geraldton.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I don't think that question gets asked enough of business people with genuine concern, because they will respond. It was amazing where people were at. And I think people are afraid to ask that question.
Yeah.
You will ask about someone's health, but you won't ask about their business health. And I think if people have been employed most of their lives, it's probably a harder question to ask too. But it's an all right question to ask a business person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts anyway.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Debbie. And it seems that people that have owned businesses and entrepreneurs are a lot more open to have that conversation than perhaps people that have just never experienced that. And it's not better than, it's just different, like different life experience. And where I really learnt that the quality of the conversation, or the not the tone of the conversation was very different, was when I did a lot of business networking. When I went to a lot of business networking breakfasts and groups, and you're generally working with professionals and people that, you know, they're dressed, they're ready for work, they go to a networking group, they have their breakfast, and straight after that they're off to work. You know, so it's a full work day. It's not like just a nice networking group, and they're there to find business. You know, so when you start talking to business owners in that context, it gave me a lot of relief that these topics weigh heavily on the minds of business owners, and they don't have a lot of people to talk to about it. It can be quite lonely at the top. When you are at the top of a big organization, a business, you know, you're running a shop, you've got staff, you can't talk to your staff about this sort of thing. And usually it's not always helpful to talk to your partner. You know, you don't want to burden your partner with, you know, or your family with what's going on in the business as well. It's actually sometimes easier and more productive to talk to other business owners. So all of you are business owners. I would really encourage you to start to look at yourself in that context, that you're a global entrepreneur, in fact. Right? I know many of you have got business in other countries, which, you know, your local shop corner, your local corner shop will never have that opportunity and would dearly love it. So don't see yourself as small, even if you don't have a large business. The size of your opportunity and the capability of your business is extraordinary. And just the fact that you're in it and that you've seen that vision, that does make you an entrepreneur. That makes you someone amazing. So it's how do you get out and continue to do this inviting, scheduling time during your week, looking at where your leads are coming from, how you're going to do that. Most of us here have got a big list, right? So just use the list and prioritize the list. But then how are you actually doing the inviting as well? Is anyone not using Genie here? Yeah, it's all right if you're not. So everyone else is using Genie to do the inviting. Hey, happy days. That's looking pretty good. That's amazing. Can I throw you in the deep end, Sharon, around Genie? Just talk about what we're talking about. Because Sharon is an amazing leader, and she's taken the initiative to help, to be proactive, to help her team. And she's been doing a lot. She's been organizing some training specifically with Genie.
So, Justin, I love Genie. I'm a Genie fan. And there's so many things that you can do with Genie to manage your business. So not just sending out invites and things to people, but when you learn the Genie Pro, which is your desktop Genie, which if you are building a business, it's a must for everyone. Everyone needs that. You get to look at your team, you get to watch what's happening in your team, you get to look at your downline, you get to see maybe some people in there that you've never seen before that somebody else has enrolled that might need a hand. So I organised a Genie training last week, but what I'm going to do is speak to Larry again and ask if he'll do another training for us and open that up for everyone if you'd like to join. I'll put it in the Shine Bright team and you can jump on the trainings. Last week we did it on Saturday at Melbourne time, 10 a.m. So I'm not sure whether that'll be a great time for you or not. I'll just check in with Larry and I'll sort that out. But I think it's a customer management system, you know. So this is your system that manages all your people, all your associates, your preferred customers. I would just suggest if you're using Genie, make sure you send all your text messages, even if you're not attaching a video or a document to it, send all your messages from Genie. That way you can track every conversation that you have with everybody and you don't have to flick back to your messenger all the time. You can just click in Genie. It'll track absolutely everything for you. So you don't have to worry about what you said to them last time. It's in there. So there's lots of extra things. I don't even think I know how to use everything just yet, which is why when Larry said, you know, I'm happy to do a team training for you. Oh my God, yeah, great. Thank you so much. Because I want to know the ins and outs of everything. You can assign all of your team their training. So when you bring a new person on board, and I'm just giving you a quick overview of the Larry Wonder system, but you can assign all your new people their training from start to finish, because all the trainings all the Shine Bright trainings are in your Genie. So you just send it to them, they open their app. So even if they don't have Genie Pro, they're just starting, you can send their training. You have to have Genie Pro. So if they wanted to know about the compensation plan, you just flick them a training and it goes into their assignments. You assign them a training and you just let them know that it's there. They can just go in and open it up and do a 5-minute video training. It's awesome.
And then you're notified when they do it.
Yes, and you can actually, I think most of you, if you're using Genie, you know that you can see when someone's watched a video, you can see how much of it they've watched. Right. And you can, sometimes I've opened some of mine and people have watched it 5 times and I've gone, oh my God, get onto that person straight away. It's like they've watched it 5 times. So I think, look, it's just such a valuable tool. It is really such a valuable tool. And if you don't know it, get really savvy with it. It's going to be such you want to duplicate it through your team. So it's going to be such a great, useful tool throughout your team. So would that be good if we organise another Genie training? Everyone in? I'll do it if everyone's in.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sharon Waters. Great example of stepping up and being the leader. So well said. Genie's phenomenal. Everyone knows it's been my vision for a long, long time. I've worked in businesses that have spent 5 figures on customer relationship management databases that are not as good as Genie. And the notifications, so when you do enroll someone, I had a notification yesterday. It's been 5 days since Kyle's enrolled. Check to make sure his product's been delivered and help him get started. It's so helpful to keep you on track. You can also schedule follow-up in the Genie. Okay. I actually haven't, I definitely on the desktop. I do it in the desktop. I'm not sure if it's in the Genie app at this point. It's planned to be, but in the desktop, you can go to your contact, you can go schedule, and you can put it in your calendar. So it does coordinate with Google Calendar, and you can get a notification. You definitely get a notification when your scheduled follow-up occurs as well. When I do my inviting and I schedule a follow-up, I always make sure it's in my calendar in a form. And I've seen a few comments on the call today about follow-up is their challenge. Absolutely, I get it. Getting yourself in the right state of mind. What Sharon just said about reading your previous conversation is really important before you do your follow-up. If you're distracted with the kids, you're driving the kids to school and there's 3 kids in the background, they're all screaming and trying to do a follow-up, that's probably, you're not going to be in the best state of mind to be able to listen to their concerns and help that person on the end of the phone. Standing up, hands free, with headphones, that sort of stuff, get yourself in a good state, good energy, no distractions, no one's coming in your room, understanding, who you're talking to, what their concerns are, what your previous conversations are. Have a phone call, have a powerful conversation with good pre-framing, good trust and rapport, and help them achieve their goals. How do our products, how do our opportunity meet their needs, make it all about them, add value to them any way you can. And maybe I get a little bit too much carried away with that. I always try and add value to the person I'm speaking to. I do say, like particularly as far as health goes, redox is first and then all this other stuff. You don't need to know all that other stuff if you're not a healthcare person, just the redox first. That was the biggest bang for the buck. From a business perspective, I start small. I say to people, look, I'd love you to be cash flow positive. It only takes 8 customers, wholesale customers, for you to be able to pay for your minimal use of personal product. A few more customers, you can go a bit more crazy and actually, have some really high doses like I do because I'm addicted to it. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's the last thing I'll stop taking. When I'm dead, I'll have to pry the bottle out of my hand, or the gel, so have a bit of fun with it as well, but get the message across, and just don't stop inviting. It really is key. It is a trap for leadership to stop the prospecting process, and it's very mindful to build those disciplines of continuing to invite on a consistent basis over time. Nearly all veteran network marketing leaders I've ever spoken to all agree that is one of the most important disciplines you can build into your business. Okay, so any questions, comments, thoughts? On that page, it also said invite to build, which is great. When you have your team that you see are active and inviting, they are great people to invest in, to support, to recognize, to encourage, because some will run and some will walk. And that's okay, but you want to run with the runners and you want to walk with the walkers. You do need to manage your time. I like to qualify people. When I'm working with new people, I qualify how engaged they'll be according to how much of the training they finish in Genie. So I assign training to them, and when I see the notifications come up that they do it, I'm onto it. So fantastic. I'm going to reward that person with my time. Okay. When they don't do the training, it's not that like I ban them or block them. I'm still good, nice, helpful to them. I tell them they can call, text anytime. If I can take the call, I will. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. But perhaps I'm not going to be spending one-on-one Zooms with them because they're not doing anything. They're happy doing where they're at. When I do check in with them, I'll say, are you happy with where you're at? Did you want to do more? Were you getting stuck by anything? Did you need support with anything? I'll still check in with them, but I'm going to spend the majority of my time with the ones that are running and are doing it. Going to in-homes to train them how to do an in-home, for example, doing special Zooms for their groups, outside of the Tuesday night, doing extra activities to reward those people that are doing the hard work and really making a difference. Is that making sense? Great. Because how many Directors 300s do you need to be bronze? Good try, Julie. I love the fact that you were the first one with your hand up, but Nellie was the first one that was correct. It's only 2. It is. It's only 2. So, 2 Director 300s, that's very achievable. But a solid Director 700 is my kind of goal. In my mindset, I want a person to be a solid Director 700. That means paid Director 700 every week, because then I know they're paid. They've got a good cash flow to pay for their product, and they haven't just done a big enrollment, on each leg. They've actually got a number of people on ordership. They've got a passive income coming in. So when you do look at, yes, you want 2 Director 300s to be bronze. When you get a Director 300, talk to them about, okay, great. Would you like to go to the next step? What does it mean to be a Director 700? And I would encourage you to have the goal to support them to be a solid Director 700. That's going to be a much more sustainable rank. Does that make sense? Yep, brilliant. And ask what you can do to help them, to help them invite as well. So that's where you start to get the leverage in the business. A great slide from Trish Wankler when she was, housewife from Boise, Idaho, blonde housewife from Boise, Idaho with a public high school diploma. And she's got this highly qualified husband that's electrical engineer, and he gets made redundant. And she's figured out a way, instead of her doing 100% of the work, to have 100 people, and she's just getting 1% of all of their work. And very quickly she'd equaled his income, and very quickly she'd surpassed his income, And so that's just about understanding leverage. So definitely support your people that are doing the inviting. You'll get a lot more leverage in your business. Train them, support them, make sure they know what to say, how to say it, use a tool. Quickest, easiest way is to get them to do Genie, right? Just get them onto Genie, get some runs on the board, get some customers in, so forth, and get them up to Genie Go Pro as soon as you can. Make sense? That's where the cash flow from a Direct 700 is paying for Genie Go as well. Yeah. All right. Well, we're nearly up to 45 minutes. I think hopefully we've covered enough to inspire you, to expand your brain, to get you fired up for a week of amazing inviting. Can't wait to hear your check-ins next week. How's all feeling with the program? You feel like you've got plenty of material to be supported by? Feel like you're on track? Anyone want to share some of the challenges coming up they might need support with? Or just feel like there's work to be done and should probably get on and do it? Yeah. Awesome. Well, you're amazing, all of you. Thank you for all that you do. 4 was my goal, to be solid direct 700 to build a bronze. Go, Steve. Go, Jules. Yep. 4 is a better goal, right, than 2. And remember, it's every week as well. So yep. Diversify is good. 2 is the minimum. Well done, Nelly, for knowing the compensation plan. Yeah. And if you didn't know the answer to that question, I encourage you to go back and read the criteria for all of it up to Diamond Pool. Actually, I want to read the compensation plan of what the Executive Momentum Pool does for you, because that is amazing. You start double, like I've seen income double with the Executive Momentum Pool. Okay, and it's for a short amount of time, so you want to be solid when you get up there. So check that out. Make sure you read the comp plan up to Diamond Pool and know those criteria so you can set your goals. This is what I want. And 4 Director 700s is better than 2 Director 300s. I'm with you, Jules. That's great. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Great thing to invite people to attend every Tuesday night, where the amazing Julie McDonald is running our presentation this evening. Congratulations, Julie.
Yay.
Yeah. Bye all. Have a great week.
Everybody.
Hey, thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Welcome. Goodbye.
See you.
Thanks, Justin. Brilliant, as
Thanks very
usual.
much, everyone. Thanks, Justin.
Welcome.
See you tonight.
See you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.